you and I met over a decade ago, uh,
Yes.
where I was a lowly intern breaking into Portland radio, and you were already an established voice in Portland radio. Granted,
Hmm.
far, far from the field of Portland political radio or any
Is there such
political
a thing?
position at all, because you were working for the big alternative radio station in town
That's correct.
doing midday work. And my question for
Yes.
you is 10, 11 years later, if you could go back to that person, is
Hmm.
there a way, could you have possibly foreseen where you were then, that you would have ended up where you are now, this far into the political strata from where you started?
No. Oh, absolutely not. I mean, when I got hired at 94.7 in 2004, I really didn't. I mean, I paid attention to politics in the way that every voting American should pay attention to politics in some respect. They should know what the issues are. They should know what's going on in the world. I think not paying attention does you a disservice. Ignorance is not bliss when it comes to national security. But I wasn't, and also George W. Bush was president at the time, and I hated him, and I knew a lot about him personally because in the 90s I used to work for George Bush's roommate at Yale, and they to this day are close friends. So I knew a lot of things about the Bush family in the 90s that really changed my mind about the way people use politics to get ahead. I was pretty naive about the way it worked. But in 2004, all I cared about was music. Like it was still my number one passion was music. I could talk all day and night and radio was my passion. So, and it's still, I still feel passionate about terrestrial radio and how it can be saved, but I wasn't really paying attention. It was like, oh, George Bush did that. What a jerk. But did you hear the new Killers single? That was me in 2004. And I was also in 2004 very unhappily married and looking to get out of that. And my job at the radio station gave me a life that I didn't have before. It gave me autonomy and it gave me, a voice of my own. I wasn't a doctor's wife and just somebody's mother. I was Tara from 94.7. And for the first time in my life, people were listening to me for me. And they listened to my opinions. Well, my listeners listened to my opinions. I think you and I've had the conversation where the men in radio really didn't honor me as much as I deserved to be honored, despite the fact that I continuously over and over said things that were proven to be right later. And then they would just like blow me off. So, in Portland, there's a concert series called the December to Remember concert series. It's at the Crystal Ballroom. All of these bands come and play. And I named it. I helped create that concert series. I don't see a penny for that. There were plenty of times during my radio career where and you have to remember, this was the 2000s. This was before Facebook, before Twitter, before all the social media explosions. Mid 2000s, I was saying to my boss, we need to be streaming online. And he would say, well, what do we want to do that for? And I'd say, because people are in love with Portland and people around the world will consume anything we give them from Portland. And this is a money-making opportunity. You need to jump on it. He was like, nah. What were we doing a year later? Streaming online.
Mm-hmm.
I could cite you a million different examples of when I was right and they were wrong, which would sound obnoxious. So I don't want to do that because I'm not someone who thinks I'm right all the time and I'm immovable. That's not true, because if I'm wrong, I'll be the first one to say, oh, I was wrong about that. I'm so sorry. Let me correct that, because I care very, very much about my reputation. I don't want to be someone who just, spouts off without anything to back it up. But if I'm working in alternative radio and I say to you, if I go see a band that you have pegged as a one-hit wonder, which is fine, and I come back and I tell you that they're going to be huge, maybe you want to listen to me. I saw a band open for another band in 1993. The headliners were supposed to be rocketing to success. The headliners were called Belly. The song was called Feed the Tree. It was a good little song. They were nice people, but their opening band blew them away, and my boss wouldn't listen to me. Maybe you've heard of their opening band. They're called Radiohead. So it's shit like that, Devin, that if I think that I'm right, I end up being really super right. My boss didn't want to play Adele. My boss didn't want to play, you know, these. I would hear these great songs, and he'd be like, "Nah, that's not for us." And then they went into being huge hits. Or, you know, the very first December to Remember concerts we had, we were supporting both Snow Patrol and Keane. And he had Snow Patrol as the support band and Keane as the headliner. This was 2004. I said to him, "Why is Snow Patrol the support when they should be the headliner? They're the ones that are going to be the huge band." He was like, "Nah." The next year, they released a little song called Chasing Cars. It's fine, Devin. I don't know anything. Why should people listen to me? And
Right.
it's the same thing with politics.
Hey guys, Devin here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and check out the links below for more great original content. Talk to you soon. Bye.